his first wicket of the innings, and Australia a breakthrough after 68 overs. Pujara's vigil ended soon after, with Cummins finding some luck to get the ball to shoot through low and hit the off stump to end Pujara's 319-ball marathon innings. With the day coming to a close, Rohit finally chose to open his arms. He swatted a length ball to deep mid-wicket to bring India's 400 and celebrated his 10th Test 50 2 overs later. And even though Rahane was gone, Australia took the third new ball, with Stark and Hazelwood returning for another late spell. But the harder ball only made run scoring for Rohit and Pant all more easier. Rohit and Pant smoked Stark twice in 1 over, but the latter fell for 39, trying to raise the scoring rate. Ravindra Jadeja was out next over, and at 443 for 7, Kohli declared right away after nearly 170 overs. Aaron Finch and Marcus Harris were left to face 7 tricky overs before Stumps. Ishant Sharma's first over induced 2 inside edges, and from the other end, Jasprit Bumrah rattled Harris with short ball. But Australia finished day 2 on 8 for no loss, trailing India by 435 runs. Sports Desk, DD News.
And my colleague Taposh Bhattacharya is joining us for a discussion on the exciting match that took place today, the second day of the test match between India and Australia. All right, Taposh, it seems like a good start for India as compared to the first 2 tests. How do you see the match poised ahead in the tournament?
Right now, India is in the driving seat. As you can see, you have scored 443 runs for the loss of 7 wickets, and that's where and yesterday also when we spoke about the fact that if India can manage to take the lead, anything in the region of 450, 400, it will be very difficult for the Aussies, especially given the fact that this pitch is showing some variable bounce, and if that is the case in the long run, that's definitely going to be a major concern for Aussies. Remember, they are going to be batting in this pitch in the 4th innings, and that's not going to be an easy task. We have already seen in the first innings, Australia's first innings, Ishant Sharma and Bumrah has given a lot of headache to the Australian openers. In fact, Harris got hit on the head a couple of times. So, if you take a look at the
right.
at the pitch, 400, getting 400 will be a stiff task. Australian team will have to come up with their A game to come as close as possible.
Right, Taposh, you mentioned uneven bounce. Now, if we talk about the Indian bowlers, is Ravindra Jadeja the one who's set to benefit the most from this anomaly on the pitch?
Well, you expect Ravindra Jadeja to come into his zone in the test match. But, having said that, let me just put some things in perspective. Nathan Lyon is Australia's premier spinner. In fact, he is by far the best spinner as of now in this whole series. And in a couple of tests, he has already picked up 18 wickets. So if you take, his performance at this time in this test match, it is nothing to write home hope about. At max, couple of overs, he looked like somebody who's going to get the batsman out. But in this pitch where the bounce is uneven, he couldn't actually weave his magic. But Jadeja, on the other hand, he is a left arm orthodox spinner, so and he relies a lot on pace variation. That's where Jadeja may come quite handy for the Indians. He has those snorter of a delivery which goes in nearly 100 mph and can cause a lot of trouble for the batsman. Remember, for the for the right hand batsman, the ball will be angled in, and
That's
then
right.
it can actually drift away.
Right,
so
Taposh,
if take that into consideration, if there are balls which does not turn as much as the batsman expects, they are in for quite a trouble.
Right, Taposh, let's talk about the performances today. While the top order Indian batsmen performed quite well, Pujara has been in such a splendid form. 17th century coming up, quite a well-deserving performance.
Absolutely, and you have to give credit to Pujara. He's what you call the workman of this team. You've got a lot of stroke makers in this whole team. You got Virat Kohli, you got Rohit Sharma, you got and all these big time stroke makers, Rishabh Pant for that matter. But here is a guy who does his job day in day out without much fuss, and that is the main important point here. This is his 2nd century in the Test series. The first time he got that, India went on to win the match, and look like his second century of the series can also open the door for India to get that 2-1 lead in this series. Remember, we have never won a series in Australian soil. This is a golden opportunity for Team India to change the course of history and script a new one.
Right, Taposh, and let's talk about the challenge ahead. Let the truth be told that India has a big score on the board, but Australia have a deep batting lineup. What are the biggest threats for the Indian bowlers in the inning coming up?
Well, one has to be very clear that irrespective of the fact that Australian has, they will be batting now and they are still 435 runs behind. We have to consider the fact that you cannot take them lightly. A single mistake, a single session, if you give them a chance, they can come back, and that is where you have to put pressure on them day in, day out in the whole next couple of sessions, especially in the first couple of sessions tomorrow. That will be the key. If India manage to get at least 4 to 5 wickets in the first 2 sessions, right, they will feel that they have a chance, or they will sniff a chance of victory in this test match. But as of now, as we say that India is in the driver's position, they will be looking forward to push the pedal and make sure they don't give Australia a chance to come back in this test match. It's quite well poised. Indian batsman has done their job. It's now up to the Indian bowlers. Indian bowlers over the last couple of years, we have seen they have come up with with their A game. They are one of those very few teams who has managed to get the opposition out twice in a test match, most of the time, in fact. So you give them the credit, but they have to come up with their best plans, best bowling plans, and also execute them against each and every player. Remember, if this is Australia's home ground, so they have to plan their bowling performance according to each and every Australian batsman, and that's how, and they have to execute that also.
Right, Taposh, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the first 2 tests, the bowlers really called the day. Weren't very high-scoring tests, but here we see over 400 in the first innings. So do you see this angle drifting towards the batsman in this test in particular?
Well, I won't say that, although, a lot of people said that this is a docile pitch, but just take a look. This pitch gives you a lot of misconception. Right. Just giving you an idea, when the toss happened yesterday, Tim Paine, the Australian captain, said that he would like to bowl first, and Indian captain Virat Kohli said he would like to bat first. The reason, both of them had their reason. The first reason that Tim Paine said that there was 10 millimeter of grass in the pitch, and he reckoned that the pitch would have assisted his pacers. Okay. Now, Virat Kohli, on the other hand, said that the grass the 10 millimeter grass that was on the pitch looked like a mirage, and the pitch beneath the grass, the pitch looks very dry, and that's one of the reasons why he said that the pitch is going to crumble.
Right, Taposh, we'll have to wait and watch tomorrow how Australia tackles the pressure, and if indeed what you're saying becomes true, we'll have to wait and watch the inning that Australia plays tomorrow and faces the Indian bowlers. Thanks very much for this chat. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for a short break on sports news. Lots more coming up. Do stay with us.
पहला अक्षर रट लो तो वैसे एक विद्वान होगा, पक्की होगी बुनियादें तो हंसे हिंदुस्तान होगा। करो शुरुआत करो तो पक्की बात करो।
वंडर सीमेंट, एक परफेक्ट शुरुआत।
दरवाजा बंद, दरवाजा बंद। क्यों भाई साहब, कहाँ चले? कब से चिल्ला रहे हैं दरवाजा बंद, दरवाजा बंद, दरवाजा बंद। सुनाई नहीं दे रहा? इधर आइए, इधर घुसिए, अंदर चलिए। अरे खुले में शौच जाइएगा तो बीमारी खुल के फैलेगी। दरवाजा बंद तो बीमारी बंद। ठीक कह रहे हैं ना? शौचालय का उपयोग कीजिए और भारत को स्वच्छ बनाइए। साबुन से हाथ धो लीजिएगा।
मुझे भी स्कूल जाना है, मुझे भी पढ़ना है।
तू स्कूल जाएगी तो घर का काम कब सीखेगी?
मुझे भी स्कूल जाना है।
लड़कियां स्कूल नहीं जाती।
नाम बताओ बेटा, अपना नाम बताओ।
नाम बताओ ना।
मेरा नाम कुसुम कुमारी है। मेरी उम्र 7 साल है। मेरे बापू ने मुझे स्कूल नहीं भेजा, नहीं तो मैं भी दूसरी कक्षा में होती। मैं भी अपने भैया के साथ पढ़ना चाहती हूँ। आप कैसा बनना चाहती हो? मेरे पापा को बोलो ना। बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ।
Welcome back. You're watching Sports News. Dronacharya awardee C.A. Kuttappa has taken over as India's chief boxing coach at the ongoing national camp, from which star pugilist Vikash Krishan was left out following his professional plunge. The 39-year-old Kuttappa, credited with shaping some of the country's most successful boxers, such as Vijendra Singh, M. Suranjoy Singh and Shiva Thapa, among others, took over from veteran coach S.R. Singh at the beginning of the camp, which started on December 10th. The army man said his elevation was high-performance director Santiago Nieves' idea. Mixed doubles duo of Satvik Sairaj Ranika Reddy and N. Sikki Reddy and Malaysian Darren Liu defeated their more experienced opponents to help Ahmedabad smash the Masters beat Delhi Dashers in Premier Badminton League.
Despite the stunning loss of their icon player Victor Excelson, Ahmedabad Smash Masters coasted to their second successive triumph with 4-1 victory against Delhi Dashers in the fourth edition of the Premier Badminton League at the Gachibowli Indoor Stadium. Satvik Sairaj Renki Reddy and Sikki Reddy gave a winning start to their team with a straight game victory against Manipong Jongjeet and Chiasen Lee 15-11, 15-10. Delhi picked their first singles match between H.S. Pranoy and Darren Liu as their trump. The move backfired for Delhi as Pranoy suffered a straight game loss against Liu 12-15, 13-15. Pranoy, who is yet to recover fully from his injury, found the going tough as he struggled with his movement on the court. With Pranoy's loss, Delhi got a minus point while Ahmedabad had 2 points from 2 matches. The stage was set for former world champion Excelson to seal the issue for Ahmedabad. The Dane looked well on course when he clinched the first game at 15-12 against Tommy Sugiarto. The Indonesian, regarded as a giant killer in the circuit, suddenly raised the tempo and surprised Excelson in the second game. Putting everything back on the rival's court, Tommy frustrated Excelson. Tommy revived the hopes of his team by pulling off an unexpected victory against Excelson. The score now read 2-0 in favour of Ahmedabad, as Tommy's win helped Delhi to wipe out the minus point. Ahmedabad picked the women's singles match between Kirsty Gilmore and Evgenia Kosetskaya as their trump. Though she stuttered in the first game, Kirsty did not disappoint her game as she recovered to beat Evgenia 12-15, 15-12, 15-7 to ensure an unassailable lead of 4-0 for Ahmedabad. After losing the first game, Kirsty was trailing 4-7 at one stage and even suffered a minor niggle at 6-9. Thereafter, she got her rhythm back and secured 4 straight points to move to 10-9. After winning the second, Scottish woman was in full flow to the decider. She started with a 9-0 lead and hardly allowed her opponent to settle down. Sports Desk, BD News.
Asian Games in Indonesia paved the way for a successful sporting year for the country at the global stage. And in all these successful campaigns, it were the young sporting prodigies who were at the forefront. Take a look at this special report.
Youngsters and Sheepa dominated the Indian gold rush at the Asian Games in Jakarta. India eventually finished 8th in the medals tally with 69 medals, 15 gold, 24 silver and 30 bronze medals. Our youngsters led from the front and it showed how it is to be done. Shardul Bihan, just 15, won silver at the double trap shooting event and Lakshya Sharon won silver in the men's trap event. A 16-year-old Saurabh Chaudhary got India another gold in shooting. From spending more time in clinics than ranges because of a freak accident, Rahi Sarnobat etched her name in record books as the first Indian women shooter to clinch an Asian Games gold medal. The women's hockey team converted the bronze won in 2014 to silver in 2018, whereas the women's squash team beat Malaysia to reach the final where they lost to Hong Kong. A look of the first for India at Asia 2018. A bronze in table tennis men's team event along with the bronze in mixed doubles. Jinson Johnson's gold was the first in 1500 meters in 20 years. Manjeet Singh's 800 meters gold was possible after 32 years. Arpinder Singh's triple jump gold came after 48 years. First individual medals for India in badminton, a silver for PV Sindhu, bronze for Saina Nehwal. Vinesh Fogart clinched gold in the women's freestyle 50 kg category and became the first Indian female wrestler to win a gold at the Asiad. Forward Misra ended India's 36 years of wait to win an individual medal in equestrian event since 1982. Neeraj Chopra winning gold in javelin throw. Swapna Burman won India's first ever gold medal for India in heptathlon at the Asian Games. She is only the fifth woman to cross 6,000 points. Other key highlights: Rohan Bopanna and Digvit Saran won the men's doubles gold, while Pranesh Gunaveshwaran won the bronze medal in the men's singles event. Men's pair of bridge team won the gold medal. Though we couldn't match the boxing performance at the last Asiad Games, Amit Pangal beat reigning Olympic champion Tumastov in the men's 49 kg category to win gold. Dutee Chand dropped from the 2014 Commonwealth Games on account of having more than the prescribed levels of testosterone, winning silver in both 100 and 200 meters events race. Bajrang Punia won gold in the 65 kg freestyle category. 6 medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze came from Courage, while 4 bronze medals arrived from Wushu. Lowe's men's hockey team. India scored a total of 76 goals and conceded only 3 goals in 5 matches at the group stage. Malaysia were never going to be easy, even though we were ranked 5th in the world and they were ranked 12th in the world. One bad day is enough to take teams out of the tournament, but nobody expected India to lose a precious gold. Kabaddi teams. It's tough to assess this loss because on one hand, you are sad that India didn't win a gold, considering we won every gold medal since the sport was introduced in 1990. But you are happy that other countries are now catching up. CWG gold medalist Satish Kumar Shivalingam finished 10th in the men's 77 kg weight class. Sushil Kumar, the Beijing bronze and London Olympic silver medalist, was stunned by Bahrain's Adam Batriov in the 74 kg category. Performance of the men's singles player in badminton was disappointing, with Kidambi Srikanth and HS Pranoy making early exits. We do have some good prospects for Tokyo 2020, but now the real deal starts as the athletes have to prepare for the real test. First is qualifying for Tokyo 2020 and then is saving the best for the final event. It's time to convert the potentials to winners at the Olympics. Sports Desk, GT News.
So the athletes have about a year to prepare for Tokyo 2020. Moving on, let's talk about football. Liverpool treated their fans to some Christmas cheer with the 4-0 thrashing of Newcastle United at Anfield on Wednesday. Extending their lead at the top of the table, the win put Liverpool on 51 points, halfway point in the season, 6 ahead of Tottenham Hotspur and 7 ahead of champions Manchester City, who lost to Leicester City earlier. Manchester City suffered their second successive defeat as Ricardo Pereira's spectacular late strike gave Leicester a 2-1 win and dropped Pep Guardiola's side down to third. Ricardo blasted in a winner from the edge of the penalty area in the 81st minute after Leroy Sane's weak header to leave Manchester City 7-point advantage of poor defending from the home side. Liverpool extended their lead at the top of the Premier League to 6 points by beating Newcastle 4-0. Goal 6. Tottenham moved into second place in the Premier League table as they ruthlessly saw Bournemouth 5-0 to record a 5th league win in a row. Mauricio Pochettino's side scored their 11th goal, one back late on. It means United have kept up Solskjaer's 100% start since taking over after Jose Mourinho was sacked before Christmas. And with that, we conclude this edition of Sports News. Have a pleasant evening ahead. Namaskar.